My guest today has a voice that you cannot put in one genre. He is a singer. Yes, he can sing. His career is impressive, and I can only imagine his journey is one many can relate to that have navigated through the entertainment industry. You've heard him on classic songs with legendary artists and seen him on stages all over the world. I'm so honored to have him on the Hybrid Soul. Welcome to the show, Trey Lorenz. How are
Kelly,
you
thank you
today?
so much. I am great on this beautiful afternoon. It's been raining where
Yeah.
I am and where I've been for the past few days. I was actually in New York, and then we were in London prior to that. So finally we got some sunshine today. So I've just been anticipating talking to you.
Yeah, I'm so happy to have you. Your career is you have been in the industry for a long time. And does it still what do you had would you have ever imagined yourself here when you started off back then?
Wow. You know what? To be honest with you, Kelly, I'm not certain if I even thought this far into the future,
Yeah.
that I would still be, doing this, and definitely with Mariah. And but that's home. Working with Mariah is they like my musical family, the band, the singers, we all, know each other's families, and we just enjoy being together because a lot of times with Mariah's Christmas album, we're away for Thanksgiving. So we generally spend it together.
Hmm.
And it's just a good time. We almost don't even miss a beat, feeling like I'm missing family because I'm hanging out with them, and we
Yeah.
invite people to come as well. So, Mariah definitely lays it out and makes it pleasant and, a family cozy environment for us. So
Yes.
yeah, did I realize that I'd be doing this? This is something that I think I've just been blessed to have the opportunity to do, to be honest
Yeah.
with you. So I'm really, I thank God for that I am still able to use my talent, which is my passion. I love music. And I was the other day when we spoke, I actually went to the Sugar Bar for
Mm.
which is Ashford and Simpson's
Yes.
restaurant and club in New York City,
Hmm.
and they were doing a tribute to this incredible arranger, Paul Reiser. He's known for doing a lot of the Motown stuff. They were playing songs in there. If I were not, if I were you, neither one of us wants to be the first to say Rocket Love, Stevie Wonder, both versions of Ain't No Mountain High Enough, the Marvin Gaye, Tammy Terrell, and the Diana Ross version. And it was just so much history. And I was there with two friends of mine, and they were talking. Stacy said, so I'm trying to find something. And I was like, listen, I feel like y'all talking during church right now. Like I need to be able to hear what this man is saying and stuff. So it was just, a great moment. And that's what I was saying, just hearing people like having the opportunity to meet these people and fellowship with them. I'm just happy. I'm fortunate that all these years later, I still get to this opportunity.
The Hybrid Soul with Kelly Kinkaid is your destination for music and culture discovery. And for people that are watching this and hearing this, I want them to discover more about Trey Lorenz. And so your career has just been amazing. And I want to just go back to the start.
Yeah.
I've been fortunate because I've been on this journey. I knew you before someone to hold, you
Right,
know.
right. Uh-huh.
So
Ex-
let's start off because your roots.
yeah.
Where are you from and when did you start singing?
I'm from Florence, South Carolina, a little small town,
Yes.
not too far from the beach. And that's where I grew up in church and in the band. And my next door neighbor, who's actually a cousin of ours, we found out later on, was my band director.
Hmm.
And, so I've had the music around me. My dad told me that I could always sing along with the radio. And my mom was a teacher and she had to leave to go across town. So my dad was the one who was responsible for getting me dressed for nursery school and all that. And he said the only thing that would make me sit still while he got dressed was to put on the Jackson 5's third album, which ironically had the hit single from that album was I'll Be There. So it was
Wow.
like a full circle moment. And then from there, I went to college and in New Jersey at Fairleigh Dickinson University. And
Yes.
that's where I was afforded the chance to meet Redhead Kingpin, the rapper. He put together a group of us and we, you know, had some music out. We were under the Teddy Riley umbrella.
Mm-hmm.
And in addition to that, the guy that's singing beside me on I'll Be There, he was in that group with me, Pat McMillan. Pat is cousins with Cindy Mizell, who is an incredible singer. She's on
And too
almost
many.
anybody you name it.
Everybody.
Exactly. Yes, she's
Luther.
on it.
Everybody.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So when I was in college, actually, when Cindy would come off the road with Luther Vandross, she would allow us to come over to her house. She would put on Luther at Wembley and actually sing the parts with us. So that was like a training ground for me that every time I see Cindy, I'll talk to her. I'm like, Cindy, I just can't thank you enough for pouring into us like
Yeah.
that, because she didn't have to do that, but she did. And
Yeah.
yeah, so then that led to that group broke up, disbanded. And the guy Pat who's singing beside me had a session. And I'm from the South. My mom was like, you better not be going late nights over there and all this kind of stuff. And don't put your drink down and pick it
Right.
back up, all this kind of stuff. So I almost had like a fear of going to New York at night. But this particular time, he was like, it's this girl. They say she's sound like a white girl that sound like Whitney Houston. And I was like, what? And I still love Whitney Houston.
Yes.
So I was like, out of just intrigued by the whole thing, I went, met Mariah, realized, oh, you mixed, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
We clicked instantly. And I ended up singing on one of her earlier records as well, that debut album. And everything kind of just snowballed from there.
A big snowball, yo. A big
Yeah.
snowball. Amazing.
Yeah.
That's why I say your journey is so amazing, because for me, my personal story with you was when I first moved to New York, I was an intern for Angela Thomas, who
Mm-hmm.
worked at the same label. And my memory of you is still the same, still this warm energy. And I don't think we were talking about energy and vibes and all that, but you had that before we even start talking about that. And so it's such a pleasant surprise to be like, you're still the same.
Oh,
You know what I mean?
wow. Right,
That I
right.
love that. You've always been a singer. As I prepared for this conversation with you, you started singing with Mariah. You still sing with Mariah. Did you ever? Was the goal to go solo and get your own deal?
Initially, actually, I had a solo deal with Virgin prior
Okay.
to well, but it was around that same time that I was working
Hmm.
with Mariah or something, but it was with Red and his connections.
Right.
And then I started doing the thing with Mariah. We were in a rehearsal, I remember, and it was somebody asked, like, don't you sign your deal next week or something like that? And I was like, yeah, I'm excited. And she overheard and was like, what are you talking about? You never told me about this and everything. And she got her people involved, which was Tommy Mottola, who she ended up marrying, who was the
Hmm.
president of Sony at the time. And basically, they made me a deal I couldn't refuse. That's
Of
the bottom
course.
line
Of
at the
course.
time. So, and then that led to I'll Be There. She knows that I'm a big Motown fan, always have been. And she did. They didn't even have to. I didn't have to go look up the lyrics or anything. When she said I'll
Right.
be there, I was like, oh, I know it. Let's do it. And so that led to that. And yeah, but and then that did my solo project. My first single, Someone to Hold, went top 5
Yes.
R&B. I still
Yes.
hear that one ever so
Absolutely.
often. And I'm actually looking forward to singing. I haven't sung that song in quite a while. So
Really?
yeah, so I'm actually looking forward to doing some performances. And that's really, to be honest with you, I'm fast forwarding through a few things now. But during the pandemic, I went and got my real estate license. My mom has rental properties, so I was driving Miss Daisy, taking her around, and we unfortunately had to evict someone. And my mom is like, I won't be telling on her. You know, I know Miss So-and-so's her daughter and blah, blah, blah. And Miss So-and-so from the church, that was so sweet. So,
Right.
you know, she's doing it based off of stuff like that. And I was like, I just really wish that I knew more legal terms to help her with that. So I ended up going to get my real estate license because we weren't performing or anything like that at that time.
Right.
And found that I like it. And I'm really trying to incorporate the music. I want to do shows and partner with the lender because what I'm finding out is that um, Black people are one of the least amount of people that own our own homes. And I just saw that as opportunity. It's like maybe 40s, low 40s% of us that own, and they got programs out there that they don't advertise that help
Hmm.
with down payment assistance, closing costs, and the quickest way to build generational wealth is through home ownership.
Right.
And you know, I just really want to see if in a way I could give back and educate people while you get in the show, basically.
Right.
So that
Right.
was one of my passions,
How
basically.
is it? Because so if you started in 2020 when the world just shifted
Right.
and you found this new career, right?
Mhm.
So now you're coming you've never left, but you're coming back as a solo artist with music
Right.
because you put out Magic and you have this great song, Make Me Want to Dance with some movement now. How
Right.
does that feel coming back doing music, getting ready for a new project? In the world we're living in today.
Kelly, I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm doing it independently so
Yeah.
far, and I think I need to start go talking to a label because it is a lot of work
Right.
juggling all of the different hats and
Mm-hmm.
whatnot. So we're trying to figure out how to get a video done for the new single. It's
Right.
really like a summer barbecue,
Yes.
family oriented, you know, weddings and
Yes.
juke joint. You know, it's a stepping song of
Absolutely.
people coming together. So I'm just really trying to just get it as much exposure. And again, my goal is to just to be able to go out and touch people. See, I really
Yeah.
want to start doing shows when I'm not with Mariah because we're going to be off actually for the next month. So I could be doing my thing as well, you know. So because I don't know if I'd ever really feel like leaving.
Yeah.
Whitney Houston told me one time, you better get up from under that wing and fly. But
Right.
when it's just so, you know, when you used to home, and I'm loyal, that's just one of my traits by nature and everything. I get someplace I'm comfortable, I like the people, I ain't why rock the boat and everything.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Singing all over the world on all these stages. What's the difference of when you first started? Because when you're on tour with Mariah, you all sing I'll Be There. What's
Right.
the difference now? What's the feeling of when you first started singing it to now? Because it's been over 20 years now.
At 30. How about
How is that
that?
feeling on stage singing that song with her?
You know what? To be honest with you, I think that it for both of us, it just takes us back to our younger selves.
Yeah.
And like to keep it from being you know, the trite and the same thing. We have these private jokes in a sense. So one time somebody sent me this, and I don't know why people always send me some foolishness. But sometimes before the show, I'll go out and be like, okay, y'all ready? I'm gonna turn this out, y'all. You know, like you know, just messing with them, talking trash and stuff. So we did this one particular show, and I had a cold, and my voice cracked on the thing. So you can see Mariah and our musical director. His name is Daniel Moore, incredible musician. He did a
Uh-huh.
lot of work with her. They're both kind of turning their heads so they don't laugh in front of the audience, but you know, we just be clowning and stuff. And,
Yeah.
you know, we just try to keep it fresh. She'll say, just call my name. And I'm trying to figure out, okay, how am I going to do it different this time just to give the audience something fresh and something new. And, but it's a piece of history. You know, a lot of
Right.
people come up and mention that. I did realize that it is the eighth song in the rock and roll era to go to number one twice. And there's only
Wow.
been nine one since I'll Be There did it, and that was Lady Marmalade originally by the LaBelle, and then Lil Kim, Maya, Pink, and Christina Aguilera did it over. and
Yeah.
stuff. So yeah, but I'll be there. It has like a little piece of history there. I always use that honestly to talk to when I when I meet Jackie Jackson is I think he's a big Mariah fan. So
Uh-huh.
he has come to quite a few of our shows. And when he after that last time he came, I said, okay, you know what? You are regular here now. And I'm like, man, why don't y'all just go and consider me just an honorary Jackson cousin? And they all have that soft spoken. He's like, man, of course, man. Man, of course we let you be a Jackson cousin, man. So
Hey,
I am a Jackson cousin, Kelly.
yes, I love that. I love that. Was there ever a time in your career that even before you did the real estate thing, you were like, what's next?
Yeah, well, I think what I've learned is that it's okay to have multiple streams of income.
Yes, Lord.
And that and I have different of course music is really my passion, but I
Mhm.
have other passions as well.
Yeah.
So being able to explore and do that kind of thing, I would anybody that's listening, don't just stick to one thing. Put your hand in as many baskets as you possibly can, just to keep that passive income going, and to keep life interesting basically.
Yeah.
Hmm.
As you are preparing because you're putting out singles now and still on tour, putting this album together, what did you take from the past times being in the studio working on your projects to bring it to now?
Well, I'm at this point, I feel like I'm seasoned. And
Yeah.
to be honest with you, the guy that produced the first two singles with me, Magic and the current one, Makes Me Want to Dance, his name is Doc Walker.
Mhm.
Doc passed on April 1st a year ago.
Mhm.
And I was first of all, I was just devastated because it was April 1st. We were walking into someplace in California. I just sat down in the hotel room and one of my friends called and told me, and man, just give me a minute. This cannot be happening right now. And so it took me a little time to regroup, and I got with some newer producers that I know that I was working with, and we've kind of just been finishing up a lot of the other stuff. So, I mean, but as a result of that, what I did to your question is I went and got some studio equipment. I was like, you know what? I know how to do this. Let me I can be recording at home
Yeah.
because it's hard trying to schedule around other people and the real estate thing. So I really had to take the bull by the horn. So I learned, kind of gotten proficient at definitely recording myself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's amazing. Through
Hmm.
your illustrious career, what has been the fun part of being Trey Songz or Trey? I was
That's
gonna
my nephew.
look. I was gonna ask you, do you ever get people go Trey Songz? Are y'all related? Trey Songz, Trey
You know what?
Lorenz.
Let me tell
You
you
the
what's so
first
crazy
Trey.
about that. Right. Let me tell you what's Trey did. I can't remember what it was, but he did some performance with us and
Yeah.
everything. And I was like, man, that's my nephew right there.
Yes. I was
Everything.
going to
Yeah.
ask you that, and I said that was my follow-up question about Trey Songz because he also has new music.
Right.
But what has been
Hmm.
the fun part of being Trey Lorenz?
Um, like to your point, what we were saying earlier, it's still having the luxury of even being able to do this, because
Yeah.
again, music is my passion. And so much has changed now, because that's really been a learning curve for me. Everything now it's streaming and blah blah blah. I was literally dragged on the social media and stuff, so like you got to do that kind of stuff. Matter of fact, I need to be posting something now. We just got back from London, all the stuff from New York, so I just gotta put it together because I'm doing it myself. That's really me on social media, y'all.
Yeah.
Yeah. And speaking of that, let me say that too before I forget. TreyLorenz.com, my website, has everything because they got the social media and all the different names and stuff. Because
Yeah.
some people had created things for me. So my actual social media is at TreyLorenz.com, and you can find all of them there.
Okay. I
Yeah.
love that. It's been so much. When you were a solo artist on Columbia, starting like it was easy. You had a team.
Right.
And now you add the social, the everything like that. It
Mhm.
has it been overwhelming just to learn?
You know what? A little bit, but at the
Yeah.
same time, Kelly, it's been rewarding,
Yes.
because it's like you
Yes.
really get you got your hands in it. You really kind of see. I'm just a little slow with some of this stuff because I probably should have had this video done by now. But we really just kind of because then you gotta um figure out like, okay, I'm a budget person. So I'm like, okay, let me budget this according to what I'm gonna get out of it
Yeah.
and whatnot. So it's like doing that kind of stuff and you know just figuring the ins and outs of it, but it really has been rewarding.
I'm also curious because I love your back wall with all these greats, Diana Ross, Stevie Wonder, Marvin Gaye. You
Yeah.
talk about Cindy Mizell. And the Jacksons. Who are some artists, R&B artists or artists period that you listen to now that are playing and out?
That are current.
Yeah, current.
Um, I love Jasmine Sullivan. I think
Ooh,
she is one of the like the next coming vocally. Um, I have a song with Elijah Blake that we
love
did.
Elijah. He's a friend of the
Yeah.
show. He's so dope. Yeah,
Uh-huh. So Elijah, I like his stuff.
yeah.
Let me see. I
How do
probably need to
you
pull out
how
my
do you
phone.
go about discovering? How do you discover new artists?
A lot of times I'll hear stuff and I will just Shazam it,
Yeah.
you know, and recently played. I just played something by Ari Lennox.
Hmm.
Um, Ari, I'm going back in my recently
Now
played.
you just had me go on this new album, a duet with Jasmine Sullivan and Trey Lorenz. Whew,
Listen, I would love
whew.
to do something with Jasmine Sullivan. What's so funny about that? Years ago,
Hmm.
prior to her releasing her music, she opened like she was literally like 14. She opened up for someone in New York City.
Yeah.
And we had gone to see whoever the headline was. I can't even remember. It's been so long ago. And I was there with a buddy of mine, and we were. I don't think it was Erica Badu, but it was somebody that she was opening up for. It was like CBGB's
Uh huh.
or one of those places. And they were like, "We got this 14-year-old girl coming in," and we were like, "Okay, come on, y'all, let's get to the meat and potatoes."
Yeah.
And when that young girl opened up her mouth, we were both like, what is going on right here?
Right.
So after then, maybe almost 10 years after that, when she released Need You Bad, I knew instantly who she was because it had stayed in my mind.
Wow.
I was that impressed that all those years later, when I heard it instantly, I knew that's the girl that we saw, the little girl that we saw. And so I've just really been proud of her and all her stuff as well.
I
You
think
know,
people think that when they hear your voice and hear, your entry on I'll Be There is legendary, you know.
uh
You have one of those voices as well.
I appreciate it. I really do. And I think it's God.
Yeah.
Also, I listen to a lot of gospel stuff because I did grow up in church and
Yes.
I've been I'm looking at way everything and lately I guess I've been listening to Karen Clark. so
Mm.
so I've been listening to a lot of gospel stuff as well. But every now and then I get ratchet too. I love look at some Glorilla and some of those people. you know,
What
so
what has been your favorite stage to date? Because you've been on many of them.
wow. You know what? To be honest with you, Kelly, there different stages have different meanings.
Hmm.
But I would probably say um us doing I'll Be There at Michael Jackson's memorial service
Ooh.
was one that was really mind-blowing, and it almost feels even now when I go back and think about or look at it, like I wasn't even there.
Yeah.
Because we didn't know that we thought it was like a tribute show. They said, yeah, Usher's gonna be here and this one and that
Hmm.
one. So we just thought everybody was gonna do like, tribute songs to Michael. And of course, we had the I'll
Right.
Be There, so we would do that. And it turned out it was a memorial. They had the casket there and everything. So it was almost like an outer body experience.
Wow.
But that one, so I would have to. mention that. And it was really weird because my mic wasn't even on when it first came on. Mariah got choked at the beginning because she didn't realize it was going to be a funeral. It was just so many weird things,
Yeah.
but that still jars my memory every time I think people, and it's on YouTube, so
Yeah.
y'all can
Oh,
go
wow.
see that moment.
Wow.
Mhm.
Making this new music. And I'm curious to know what was the conversation with self and with others like, I'm about to make me some more music.
Yeah, well, like I'm saying, Doc, I had gone to a barbecue. There's a
Uh-huh.
group from the 90s called Twice. I used to say two twins, and my dad said that's four, but they are literally two sets of twins.
Uh-huh.
One set of twins was singing background for R. Kelly's 12 play tour. That's Body's Calling, that era.
Uh-huh.
And the musical director was Doc. So he'd been with Robert all that time, and of course, Robert's not making music right now, unfortunately.
Yeah.
And but Doc was like, "Man, what you doing? What you doing, man?" And I was just like, "Man, I'm gonna be honest with you, bro. I have not been inspired to write music."
Mhm.
So he was like, "Man, let me play a few things for you." So he went and played some songs that he had done with some other people, and then he played this one song for me. It's not one of the singles that we have now. It's one that we haven't released yet. It's
Uh-huh.
called "Don't Push Me Away." So I was like, I'm ready. Within literally like 20 seconds of hearing the music, I was like, okay, I think I can work with this. And
Right.
then we just started talking and what kind of stuff you want to do. And I was really like, if I'm going to do this now, I really want to do what I want to do. Because when I was with Sony, everything was kind of pop driven,
Mhm. Mhm.
ballads and stuff like that. But, I'm from the South, I'm a country boy. So I really wanted to do juke joint music. So that's, if
Yes.
you listen to um we have a whole subculture down here, y'all, of just like now the stuff is coming out. Put them fans and where them
Yes.
fans at, that kind of stuff. And one of the guys' name is King George, who I read that's one of the new artists I really like, King George. He's actually from South Carolina, where I'm from as well.
Uh-huh.
Both of those guys are. They're from South Carolina. And but it's down here, it's like, I mean, there will literally be like thousands of people at these functions.
Right.
And I was like, I think I want to try my hand at some of that. Let me do some of my root stuff. So that's kind of where so I think we're gonna do a some kind of line dance stepping for the new song Makes Me Want to Dance.
I
But
love
yeah,
that.
that was where it kind of all stemmed from, that particular barbecue. And
Right.
'cause this is barbecue music.
Yeah.
And then the desire that I really want to get back on the road and again help people build generational wealth. I really think that is a calling for me, and a place that I can carve out something where I feel good about it,
I love that. I love that. Putting out this music, and you're still on the road. I'm curious to know, and this is probably my big question for you. What is it something that you haven't done in your career that you want to do in this chapter?
Wow. I really want to get a show together that I think is representative of my talent.
Mhm.
I want to really be able to sit down and map out something that is grown and sexy, but but age appropriate at the same time. You know what I'm saying? I'm not a kid, so I won't be doing any backflips. We were in London just now doing the summer ball in
Mhm.
at the Capitol thing. It was at Wembley, and there was a young guy there that we met afterwards. Benson Boone, I think his last name is
Mhm.
Boom. Boom, it might be Benson Boone. Anyway, he's huge, and they let us know that. And but he was doing flips in the middle of him singing. So I was like, oh, I've been broke my neck trying to pull something like that. But he was amazing. And so anyway, it's back to my thing. I really want to be able to get this show right and
Mm-hmm.
just, give people, a good night. Like come out and just let's have some fun and and do this. So that would be my desire because I don't think that there's really anything other than some TV shows that I did, like Arsenio Hall, back in the day that, really show. And I'm a people person. So
Yeah.
I really want to do like a fly show.
Yeah.
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 Hmm.
And I guess I have one more before I said that was my final question, but I think my final question to you is who has given you to date some wisdom that you've been able to carry on like throughout your life? Because you've grown up in this business.
Yeah. Probably my mom, to be
Mm-hmm.
honest with you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she's like, listen, all this is gonna fade away. Try to treat people right, and and maybe my dad too. I could say my dad as well because my dad, my personality is really like my dad's personality, more so than my dad could remember everybody's birthday. Like, no matter how, when he hadn't seen you in years, he'd say, man, he'd call me up sometimes. Make sure you call up Mr. Harvey and wish him a happy birthday. It's like,
Right.
stuff like that.
Right.
So, just being mindful of and caring of people. So I guess that's the thing. And keeping God first, because like I'm saying, we all have a purpose here. And hopefully we all get to find that.
I love that. I love that. Well, I think that you are doing your parents very well because it's been years since I've seen you and been in your presence, and it still feels like the same Trey Lorenz that I met back
Wow,
then.
Kelly, I really, really appreciate that. And you look amazing. Like you have
Thank
not
you. You
changed. Like what you
too.
been doing?
You too
Oh no,
looking
I done
for
got
water.
fat. But let me
No,
tell you,
no,
but you
no.
are representing.
I appreciate that. We support you. We love magic.
Thank
We
you.
love this new song, Make Me Want to Dance. I can't wait to line dance on that and just hear more of you and seeing you on more stages and really like you living out your dream of having that show for you.
Yes.
Um, more things. Congratulations on your realty business.
Yeah.
I think that kudos to you for wanting to put back into the communities and create more generational wealth. People can and how can people kind of connect with you on your realty company?
Yes, that's also but trailerins.com will
Okay.
probably have everything on there.
Okay.
But I'm actually with a company called Keller Williams, and we are all over the place. So even though, for instance, if I do a show in Mississippi, I'm not licensed in Mississippi, but I will definitely be able to put you in touch with a proper person that's going to have the
Yeah.
right ethics and right spirit about handling business, a
Yeah.
reputable person. And I will check in with people. But another thing I'd be remiss not even say this. We also have a nonprofit which is called Gifts, Gifting Instruments for Talented Students, where
Oh,
students that might want to take piano lessons or play in the band, don't have a saxophone or whatever, guitar, whatever it is, where we're going to start doing drives. So if sometimes people got some old instruments in the garage or something like
mm-hmm.
that, but we trying to figure out how we can get um lessons and stuff like that. We're gonna get some people, some really qualified people to donate of their time as well and have functions for that. But we playing instruments help kids with math and different things in school. And
I
I was one
agree.
of them, so I know for a fact. And
What
so we
what
really
instrument
want to
did
help
you
in that way.
play?
But I played saxophone. I was first chair, baby.
Okay.
Me and Craig, my buddy Craig Grant, we would switch off on
Yeah.
first chair.
Yes, I
But
love that.
yeah, so I played tenor saxophone. Yeah,
I
alto
love
sax,
that.
alto. I played tenor as well, but I was really on the alto saxophone.
I love that.
Yeah.
Well, all the best to you, Trey Lorenz. Look forward to seeing more of you. And
Thank
we
you.
thank you here at the Hybrid Soul with Kelly Kinkaid, where your music we love to discover more and more.
Excellent. Thank you so much for this
Thank
opportunity,
you.
Kelly.
Absolutely.
You got to come be in the video.
I will. I'm gonna be ready. I'm gonna be ready. But
All
thank you
right,
once
come on.
again. Okay.
Thank you.
My guest today is Trey Lorenz. Until next time.